the papa was saying picking no go sleep, into no go sleep, into no go sleep. He and his criminals will here because it come to a time where there was going to be armed struggle because he's using what I'll call a gangster style to run the government. But by the time the Wala is already at his doorstep, but if that's time manifesting. But me personally, I think the only thing that will solve this whole thing and reset the whole thing, and I said it the other night that I called. This is a part of the thing that caused the 1966 uprising in the army, and then the first coup happened. I see another coup, and this time around, it's going to be bloody. Honestly, I don't wish for it, but it's going to be. Boy,
a lot of us don't. But when they continue in this trajectory, anything can happen.
Yes,
and we need to know that all of us.
Yes, so let's just not be surprised. It's not about Igbos or it's not about Yoruba. It's just about the injustice. How can you be calling for? I mean, senators calling for house ways allowance to where a lot of children are naked. They can't even feed. They don't even know where their breakfast, if there is going to be anything like breakfast. Some can't even go to school and all that. And our senators are overpaid idiots. Most of them, look at the other one that you played the video the other day that even can't speak English very well.
What's that guy's name again? He has a name and his name is quite funny as well. But yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
let me take another call. Right? Thanks so much.
Well, we keep looking and we enjoy the ride. Anyway,
at least what we believe is that when things continue like this, like you also said, right, it will get to a stage that something is going to happen. We may not be 100% certain, but we believe if they continue like this, right, it's just a matter of time, Baba. You know.
Exactly. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
So I'll take another caller here. Hello there. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes, I can hear you, Maya. Good evening.
Amazing. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Long time listener, first time caller.
Oh, did you say your first time caller as well?
Yeah, long time listener, first time caller.
Amazing. Oh, where's my shekere? How are you doing, sir?
Fine. My name is Chidi, and I'm calling from the UK here. You see, yeah. You see, when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu, most people don't know him. Yeah. I attended an IPOB meeting in London in Peckham, 2013.
Bless you.
Yeah. I'm from Abia State, and he's from Abia State too.
Yes.
Yeah. So during the course of the meeting, I asked me a question. I said, "You are from Abia State. I'm from Abia State, and we have a useless governor. Why don't we start with our governor and set an example, so that people will take IBB serious, and other governors will say that okay, these people are holding us to ransom, are holding us to account for the money they receive." Federal government is not starving you of state allocation.
No.
You are having all the money you need.
That's right.
Why are you not developing? So when we hold the Abia State government to account, they will now spread all over. Even if it means burning their houses or all their investments. Nnamdi stood up and told me and said, "Listen, Chidi, I don't want violence. We are never going to get involved in violence." I said, "But that is the only language you'll understand." He said, "No." He said, "By the time I break our people's coconut head with the truth, that they will now start understanding what I'm talking." He said, "You don't need violence. All you need to do is to say the truth and let them see it, and don't leave any other lie." I said, "Okay, no problem. But when this thing will start, you can't handle it." He said, "Don't worry. When we'll get there, but the most important thing is to sanitize our people."
At least, yeah, let the people understand why he wants to do what he wants to do. Once he wins them on his side, the job is half easy.
When I said, "Okay, no problem. Whatever you need, however it is." So when people don't understand certain things about IPOB, I laugh at them. Yeah, you see, in IPOB, every member contributes money. Even non-members contribute money.
That's right.
A politician came here and brought £10,000. Nnamdi asked him to take back his money. In fact, the person that brought the money, Nnamdi expelled him from IPOB. He said, "It is the £10 £5 that you members bring is the most important." And he said that whatever will happen in Biafra land, that whatever will happen in Nigeria, that no Biafran in Nigeria will contribute a penny to whatever will happen in Biafra, that every expenses that will be made will be contributed from every Biafran in diaspora. And he started visiting different countries, mobilizing people, different countries. If he says he wants to go to Australia today, somebody in Australia that he doesn't know will buy him a ticket.
That's right.
When he gets to Australia, they will take him shopping, buy him clothes. That is how he moves. But people don't understand it. When they say, oh, that he's being bribed, I keep laughing. If you don't know the work in that IPOB, you don't understand anything at all. That's why when people say certain things, I don't even bother myself to argue. Because what you don't know is bigger than you. All you need to do is to seek the information, and you will be informed. But if it's had to be, talking rubbish, a
cloud chaser, and all that, well, enjoy it.
Up to the money they contribute here in IPOB worldwide, there is a section of it that goes to treating people in Biafra that the police are holding. They've shot them. Some are in the hospital. Some are in prisons. Lawyers are going from prison to prison, releasing them.
I am a witness to that one. No. Lawyers going to prison to prison. No. I'm aware of that one.
Except if you don't know, where is all this money coming from?
Where?
From the money being contributed from 10 pound monthly dues, or 20 pound monthly dues, or 20 euro monthly dues from IPOBs in diaspora.
That's right.
That's where the money is coming from. No one penny from any useless politician or any government official has come into IPOB expenses. That I can hit my chest and say. So when people say certain things, I laugh. When Nnamdi wanted to set up ESN, trust me, Baba, even most IPOB members don't know what's going on.
Nobody knew how he pulled that off. Personally, I was going to ask him if all this did happen.
He said, a lot of you know 3 things. Some know 2 things. Some know 1 thing, but the 4th one is only for him alone, and he will never say it out. And people will just laugh. And he means it. There are things he would do. He won't tell anybody. You just see something going on. He said, okay, I need, he knows who to talk to, and things are done. You understand? So when people say what they say, trust me, there are people that are not IPOB members, they contribute money because he told them the truth in their face, and he said, watch this happen. If it doesn't happen, then call me a liar and never believe me again. And you know the funny thing, both the government and everybody, they never made him a liar. They even made him a hero.
Just always prove him right. I know.
Because they prove him right. And tell me, why wouldn't they be panicking? How many years ago he said, Tinubu will make Buhari president and Buhari will hand over to Tinubu?
He said it, he did,
But people, that's the problem. People don't know how he gets information. They don't know how he gets information, and that information is point blank accurate.
Chidi.
So that's what panics them in the presidency with the governors and everything. If they release him tomorrow, if they by President they release him, court has said, but they know if they release him tomorrow. Do you know what he's going to do? He's quietly going to go back to his house, arrange himself, calm down, not listen to any rubbish. Then he will not start asking questions. He's not going to talk to anybody. He's not going to start listening to anything because he said, and what am I asking for? Good life for my people. Is there anything wrong in that? I'm asking for good life for everybody. Some time ago, people saw him in Nigerian house campaigning for Nigeria, one Nigeria. But they've never asked him, what made you snap and start talking about Biafra now? Nobody has asked him that question.
And they are not willing to. They are more interested in trying to shut him or possibly silence him and all that. Chidi.
Before he was in Nigerian house, just protesting. My brother. So it's okay. Let me give other people.
Thank you so much because you mentioned it, right? I'll use that as a single break before I take my next call. I love all you shared with us tonight. Okay, you should have a wonderful night. Okay, bye-bye.
And you too, man. Thanks. Enjoy your tea. Bye.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu, and the reason why we're here today is to protest the killing of innocent women and children, and men for that matter, all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. We are not happy, we are not pleased with what is happening, and that is why we're here today. As you can see, there are a lot of Nigerians who are protesting about the killing of families, people who are determined to tear the country apart violently, and it is not something that we support. It is not something that we would like to see continue, and we are here today to send a clear message to the Nigerian government through the High Commissioner that what is happening in the country is unacceptable, and we cannot accept it. If that continues, it will lead to the violent disintegration of the country. There will be no more Nigeria for anyone to go to. There will be no Nigeria for anyone to refer to. In fact, what is happening in Somalia today will be like a tea party. So we cannot allow this nonsense to continue. Something has to be done. And the consequences of the actions of terrorism in Nigeria must be driven home to the people, so that even the terrorists themselves will be able to understand that there is no mileage in where they're going. The only thing they can accomplish is the breakup of Nigeria. If they think that they can cower people, if they think they can force people to be coerced into a religion which is not theirs, then they are clearly mistaken. We are asking for peace. We are asking for people to get together. We are asking for everybody who loves Nigeria, who is associated with that country, to please prevail upon terrorism in Nigeria so we can bring it to an end. That is why a multitude of Nigerians are gathered here today. Those of us in the UK are determined to work with the
Hello, Maigo.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yes, sir. I'm fine. I'm doing well. Thank you for picking my call and giving me the opportunity to
Thanks
talk.
for calling too. Thank you.
So my name is Kade. I'm calling from the Houston area in the US.
Okay, from Houston area. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I think this is my second time calling.
It is. Go on.
Yeah. So I'll be fast because I know my time is pretty short and I'd like others to contribute. So briefly, I just want to address the second caller who called earlier today. He had a lot of things to say. I really don't recall everything he said verbatim, but there were some very concerning statements he made.
Right.
Of course, these are his own personal opinions, but I just felt the need to address it because I often encounter those same opinions or inclinations in certain people that I have the cause to interact with on a day-to-day basis. So there are a lot of people that belong to that school of thought, which is that he mentioned that I don't know where he got his own history from, that some Yorubas migrated from Kwara to Kogi and they committed suicide, they died.
I heard that too, but it was confusing. It wasn't like a kind of clearer, statement that I couldn't take him up on it. I wanted to speak. Go on.
Exactly. If he's referring to the Okun people of Kogi, they migrated from Ile-Ife. That's the little I know about history. I'm not claiming to be, a historian, but I know
you're right.
We don't know where he got that his own history from. And even if, there were to be some Yoruba people that left Kwara, disgruntled and decided to determine their own fate, how is that wrong? You see, the sad part is this, we often make jest of, certain people and we point to them, at various points in history and say, oh, they failed, so don't venture to go there.
I know.
That's a wrong mindset, a defeatist mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that, at several junctions, it was talking about the Igbos, telling them to simply, what I was able to infer from all he was saying, which pissed me off. Yeah, saying they should just accept the status quo. That's where he was going to, just accept the status quo. You ought not to be complaining. Just take it the way it is. I don't know if he's a newcomer to this channel.
Do you remember when I was like, about you are making it look like, the Igbos are the ones who wants to, you're not addressing those who are telling them to leave and move. And it was like, kind of brush it, but, his opinion. And I respect that, by the way.
You understand. So, you think the sad part is, you're telling people to accept the status quo. You don't want us to challenge the status quo. He offered no opinions whatsoever, no arguments, no alternative, real arguments whatsoever. If you're saying, let's accept the status quo, okay, what are the points? None whatsoever. I listened to everything he had to say, and it was just wrong, on so many levels. We need to start challenging the status quo.
That's right.
We owe it to ourselves. Yoruba people.
You can't keep it this way. No, it's not right.
On the other side, as black people, as Africans. Mm-hmm. Because if you understand history, him coming from Kwara, you ought to understand the history of the Kwara people. It's there for all to see. And he sounds older. I'm in my 30s. He sounds older than I am. So he probably you understand, comes from, an era where at least they had access to history better than I did.
That's right.
He shouldn't be talking like that. It's quite sad. And I also learned that, he's not in the country. So he has some level of confidence wherever he is, and it's quite sad. And as for Mohammed, I don't fault, Mohammed is Mohammed, I fully understand where he's coming
from. So all of you have agreed that Mohammed is Mohammed, Abi? No. So every time you hear Mohammed, what's mostly your expectations when you're watching? Like sitting down there and you're like, oh my God, Mohammed is on the phone. Do you feel like, I want to hear what he's going to do tonight or something like that? Or what?
No, I think with Mohammed, personally, I've gone from firstly wanting to punch him in the face to just simply ignoring him and accepting him for who he is. Oh, yeah. Because I've realized that punching is simply not going to get them to where you want them to be, which is essentially to meet you halfway, you understand, or exactly to accept your own point of view. Now, lastly, I would want to address Mesoma, the lady, the UME.
Yeah, that young lady of UTME forgery and all that. Baba.
Now, I don't want to touch too much on the result itself.
Right.
And there's a reason why. I'd like to go around the circumstances surrounding that event itself.
Okay.
Now, we know, at least you know, and I know, I wrote UME 4 times. I got into the university on the third.
Twice, yeah. Baba.
Exactly. Now, I know the pressures that I was surrounded by, and people around me that went to the same school were surrounded by. It was almost like, if you did not get into the university, you would never amount to anything. Now, guess what, I eventually went to that university, graduated. However, the job I later got wasn't that of an actual university graduate, but that of, I would say, technology.
You spent 4 years for, right? No?
And it did pay me a lot of money. So it was then I realized, and I later got to know that, look, it is just in that part of the world where we believe that, there's so much importance attached to a university degree. It's more about what you can offer and what you do. And so I laugh because recently on Ireland, it was said that the guy who formed that LP, the popular jingle.
Oh, I just forgot his name.
Some people were pointing to him, I think he sells spare parts. And some people were pointing to him and making jokes of him on Ireland, saying that look at him in his workshop. And I was laughing. And I simply re-echoed what you say, that these are the same useless, cowardly idiots that celebrate surprise without actual business.
Exactly.
Now, you see, my point is this, in the US, as with several advanced countries in the world, you can point to people who do blue-collar type of work, and you can say, by actual fact, they can make a living almost equal, in some cases even more than people who have white-collar
fixing gearbox. I saw his video. I saw that image, right? It was fixing gearbox. And if you are fixing gearbox engine or what have you, you will know a lot about engine. That guy will be an engineer in one of those car plants in America. And trust me, if your brother is an engineer in a car plant in America making cars, Baba, we know the deal now.
Of course. So I see no reason why, our youths are being subjected to those pressures. I understand because it's the situation of where we come from.
Wealth without enterprise now. You want to be billionaires.
Yeah.
You have nothing to show.
Exactly. Exactly. That probably leads us into that narrow thinking, a narrow approach of it's the university or nothing. Whereas some people go to polytechnics and they're extremely skilled at what it is they do.
That's right.
That's a societal thing. That's something we need to touch on. That's something we need to look at. These are my contributions.
I hope that those who have a chance of changing that actually do. Or unfortunately, those who brought us to this state, right, seems to probably have abandoned us there because it's comfortable for them too. But Baba, okay, thank you so much once again. My regards to our people in Houston. Nice one.
Yeah. Nnamdi Kanu needs to be freed. That man has done nothing wrong to the Nigerian state.
I'm even saying that if they genuinely want peace in Eastern Nigeria, release him.
Exactly.
Now, whether he's behind all of this terrorism, because I know Nnamdi Kanu that I know, come on now, he would never sit on his program and be bragging about attacking Igbos in Igbo land for not obeying what he told them. He's never done that before. He would never do that.
No.
Let him go. Let's see all the criminals behind all of this. If they love you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much. Now, I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
Yes, sir. Hello.
How you doing, sir?
I'm okay. How are you today?
I am very well. Thanks for asking, sir. So, and you are live.
Yes, sir. Oh, Air Force One again.
Yeah, for Swan, back again.
Hmm. Yes, we are back. Everybody should board the plane right now. Um,
Go on.
so actually, when I came back from work this morning, I met you with the Sunday sermon. You know, as a parishioner, I was late, but pardon me, Papa Gio.
I mean,
Um,
you are pardoned, but you should know that because you know one thing about when you miss the service, right? You can easily catch up. And you can even call later and start talking about it like you just about to do. Trust me, you are forgiven.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Please.
All right. So, quick. Also, let me start with Mohammed, my brother Mohammed, because he's still our brother. I didn't have anything against him, but I think the thing is, which is going to let me talk about my first point. See, the narratives about a long issue, okay? Because I discussed this thing recently with my wife, senior sister, husband, who was a Muslim. So, and according to narrative, if he gave me, it negates what I heard before about the Apoja movies. You remember the Apoja movie and all those Apoja narratives?
Apoja and all those. I know.
Yeah. So what he said that they kind of negate that, contradict. So I was kind of from that point I started thinking about this thing Yoruba that they said. Ipe aroba ni baba itan, to mo baba itan ma ba roba. Ipe aroba eno is also baba itan. But I began to think about that phrase. I don't think it's quite valid. The validity of aroba has a lot of key legs. I don't understand. I don't know if anybody has been thinking about that in recent time. Because there has been a series of narratives about that alone thing. And when you hear the word alone, it's a Yoruba name.
It is Yoruba word, of course.
Alone. Now, what happened to me, about that case, the case of that woman who worship Oshun, who all these people are Muslim, clerics went to her house to warn her not to practice a religion.
If she loves herself and her children, they don't want her to. Let me show you something.
Yes.
Sir. Let me show you something. At least,
yes.
Air Force One, you will understand Yoruba. So
yes, sir.
Listen to this. Let's sing together.
Yes, sir.
Gbèdé lọ́rin sóhun làwa ń wí. Ẹ má gbèdé lọ́rin sóhun làwa ń wí. Àwa ò pé kẹ́lẹ́bọ̀ má ṣe bọ̀. Àwa ò pé kọ́lọ́sùn má sọ̀sùn. Ẹ má gbèdé lọ́rin sóhun làwa ń wí. Kẹ́lẹ́bọ̀ má ṣe bọ̀.
Kọ́lọ́sùn má sọ̀sùn, ẹ má gbèdé lọ́rin sóhun làwa ń wí. You know what to remain, Baba? Now that bed sheet remain.
Yes, sir.
That bed sheet now. Those are supposed to be Yoruba. They are speaking Yoruba.
Yes, sir.
But they are like,
yes, sir. So,
ẹ má gbèdé lọ́rin sóhun làwa ń wí. In Yoruba, Baba, reality.
Yes, sir. So the point here is that when I saw the video earlier before you even brought this matter up this morning, I saw those people. These are elderly people. These are the people Yoruba Yoruba fathers who are supposed to be giving the right narratives to their kids. Okay, that this is the right thing to do. And these people, all these clerics that went there that day, when I saw that video, I was disappointed, I was dejected, angry, to the point that of recent I bought few lands in that alone. I had to be telling that brother of mine, who is husband to my wife, senior sister, that I hope I didn't make a mistake. Maybe I'm going to have to sell this land because of this thing I watched about this religion, fanatics or fanatism, whatever shit they call it. But the point here is that going back to Muhammad case, it is the narrative they fed him. And I don't know, maybe with all due respect to his parents, maybe they know the right narratives or not, or maybe they're also relaying the same thing they fed them.
Muhammad said his dad usually correct him when he's unconsciously says Yoruba. It's like me saying, "Oh, my name is Muhammad Begore. I'm a Yoruba, I'm a Nigerian. I'm a Yoruba." And your papa was like, "Stop saying that in public. Like, you are not Yoruba." Okay. So that's why I asked him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How does that make him feel? And he said it's not good. And there are people in that his own shoes
because,
that feel same too.
Yeah, because they do not want him to know. That's so, it's kind of tricky, like sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if his father is telling him that they don't want him to know the truth. Maybe they know the truth, or they don't want him to know the truth. I don't know. It's either way, or personal, or perhaps they themselves, they didn't even know the real truth. Now, my last point is this. What is the issue between Islam as a religion and the traditional worshipper in Nigeria? What is the issue? Why is it that Islam is always, on the neck, standing toe to toe with Ifa worshippers, traditional worshippers? Why is it? Why can't they just leave them alone? Leave Ifa worshippers alone, Oshun worshippers alone, go whatever worshippers alone, and do your Islamic religion now.
Exactly.
How many times have you seen any Christian?
I told people, Air Force One, right? I was like, Christians will say, when the Christians want to convert and then they want to preach, they'll be like, stop going to Babalawo, Eye Shogun, Eye Gbebo, Ọlọ́run ọ̀nà iye, ọ̀nà yìí nìkan lọ́nà iye. Àwọn èṣù tẹ́ kó síta, kìíní kan, all these things you are worshiping, they are not going to lead you to heaven. Only one way. Then you will see the Muslims. And they will preaching the same.
They will do the same thing.
But you will never see Babalawo or Mamalawo, Brother Lawo, Uncle Lawo, and the rest of these people. You will never see them come out and say, Emma Lo Churchy, Emma Kirumo. We are doing crusade. We've never seen that. So it bothers them to ask questions and say, hello, why do you have to push Yoruba tradition to the back and make it what you are making it? Like, why?
And if you also remember, this is our indigenous religion that we had prior to this foreigner invaders. Okay, this is our indigenous religion prior to all these foreign invaders, including Christianity and Islam. Okay, I was born into Catholic. As a young man being born into any family, I was born into Catholic. I practiced Catholic until 24 years of age when I came to the United States. And when I got in here, I was still going there until I joined Pentecostal. And when I joined Pentecostal, now
this is Yoruba thing, right? Yorubas will know that you have a choice to go and make and choose your own thing if you want. Okay, nobody's going to disown you for it. But when we are now having in Yoruba, when they say, you now come on, Baba, I'll take another one.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. You and I can continue all tonight, right? But a lot of people will just be like, time is going, and it is my fault because I'm trying to converse, have a chat around it, okay? Meanwhile, I have another caller here. Osita, is that
one
you?
Name o.
One name.
One name the number.
How you doing, Baba?
You in short, let me not use the word, but you are fantastic.
Thank you.
You are elaborating.
Osita.
You are everything about you is groundbreaking.
Thank you.
Trust me.
Thank you. You never cease to remind me anyway, so thank you.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say was the last time somebody called again, I was talking about me. I'm so sorry. I didn't insult him. The only thing I said that is most important is that in Nigeria, as we all are today, nobody should consider themselves as minority. We are Nigerians. That was the context of what I said. And I said again, concerning the president of Rwanda, that he has done well for Africa, not even for Rwanda. He has stood up against them. He was one of the persons that said, enough of taking money from this Western world, enough of taking foreign loans. That when you take their loans, you take their money, how do you expect them not to come to you, to bamboozle you to a corner, to do their bidding?
That's right.
In that country, we have they have a single tenure of 7 years. They wrote their constitution, they followed their constitution, and as of today, it's working for them. So that was the reason I said, do not follow these outsiders to label the man a dictator, because he doesn't even have anything that looks like dictatorship in him. Because when you go to that country, I've been there. I know what he did in that country. I am not saying that, oh, I am reading. When you want to talk about their politics, they tell you, please don't talk about the politics. Don't divide us.
It's actually
that is the most important thing.
To identify them by their tribe in Rwanda. I mean,
so nobody. So I have never attacked anybody. I was only just talking about, just elaborating on what, yes, on how we have to think. If you look at it, the majority, the people that said they are the majority, the major, like the way they quote, is the Northerners. But believe me, they are suffering more than any other part of Nigeria.
Yeah.
So why are we talking about majority and why are we talking about minority? That is just my take. So I cleared my airs on that one. I don't want to go back to it anymore.
Well,
now,
let's see which other controversy you're going to start tonight.
I'm not a controversial person. I only try to elaborate.
People always kind of love to remind and then reply you, especially when they listen to your tone on things. You don't know that.
Yeah, I know. I read their comment.
Great.
Then what I want to talk about is the issue of Nnamdi Kanu.
Please.
And I will call it out if other people are not calling out on Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa grew under the tutelage of Nnamdi Kanu's teaching, like every one of us.
Right.
I told you, it was difficult for me to embrace Nnamdi Kanu until I started listening to you, I started reasoning. So, Simon Ekpa, I do not know his ideology. I do not know what he believes on. But what I am trying to say here is his ideology by wanting the freedom of Biafra might be right. But the way you are going about it is totally wrong.
Right.
You cannot continue to kill your people directly or indirectly. Why I said indirectly is you are against the status quo, right? That I call them oligarch, the oligarch in the eastern part. They are milking the people. And you know, the moment you pronounce this, your sit at home and you say, oh, Ipo, Ewon, if you don't know the meaning of that, is that if you come out, you die. That is the meaning of the word he uses. Ipo, Ewon, which is you come out, you die. The moment you use that particular phrase, that language, what happens? What they do is that they send their militias. All the politicians in Nigeria have their own separate militias, including the governors. They will send down their militias, and their militias will cause wreckage, and they will say that, oh,
and they will blame it on
IPOB. Then at the end of the day, those people you were against, that they are milking your people, you will now give them the audacity to eat the money. The whole money that they send, they generate. They are not going to tell you that, oh, that this whole money, we use it as for security, vote. So why don't you? I am speaking to him now. So why don't you think about this simple process and know that you are not helping this struggle. Rather, you are inflicting injuries on your people. Had it been you brought out the militias and you say your militias wants to fight the government directly, I will support you. But if you are doing this thing at the end of the day, it is the politicians that are raking in the money. It makes no sense. That is not the preaching of Nnamdi Kanu. That is not. And that is not the way to get this freedom. I read in one Mandela's book, one Buthelezi told him that, oh, let us kill these white people, let us kill. He told them that we are not going to do that. Because if we do that, they are all going to kill all of us in a twinkle of an eye. Then who will fight for the freedom? That is not the way to go about it. I watched that video because it takes the hand of an authority to kill people like that, and they will record it and send it out. Militias, somebody who is fighting for freedom is not going to do that. But it takes the mind of the person that has the authority. So it's the authority of the land that did that thing and send it out so that they will say, oh, it is IPOB that is doing all these things. It is never IPOB. And Simon Ekpa, I used to watch your program before, but I stopped at a particular time. You are not helping us. You are not helping us. You are creating more problem for us. You cannot cause a chaos whereby I will lose my father, I will lose my mother, I will lose my brothers and sisters, and you think you are helping me. You are not helping anybody. That is not the way to do, because there is always a better way of doing this thing. If we are doing sit at home, for example, and sit at home has not yielded any progress, why don't we strategize?
That's right.
That is the meaning of life. That is the meaning. Don't think that you are always correct. Listen to other people. Then you can draw inspiration and draw ideas from other people's ideas. So don't think you are right. You might not be right all the time. Please, I am asking you, drop this nonsense that you are doing. Let us approach this thing, get this man out of their dungeon, and I believe that because this man, Nnamdi Kanu, has been prepared for such a time as this, we will handle it the way we know we are going to handle it better. Thank you very much, my brother.
Osita, thank you very much. Let me take another one. My time is coming gradually to an end. Again, another caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, Mr. Mayegun.
Sir.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for calling in, please.
Yes. So I just want to add my contribution. Simon Ekpa is not the problem. In fact, if you take away Simon Ekpa from the struggle,
right,
these men are ready to see Nnamdi Kanu die in prison. What he's asking for is simple. We are tired of the system. Yes. The Igbo race is not a mediocre race. We have greatness ahead of us. Right. And we've been in Nigeria. We've contributed. In fact, our national team, some of our best moments was when we worked together as a country. That's right. And we contributed positively to build this nation. But since they don't want us, we will have to go.
That's right.
So what Simon Ekpa is asking is simple. Release our leader. He has done nothing wrong. And give us referendum. Let the people decide. This is a critical time for our future. Whatever we do today will affect the generation in the next 20,000 years from now. Mm-hmm. This is the opportunity we have. When we die, we cannot come back and correct this.
And correct anymore.
Take Simon Ekpa away from this struggle. Nobody will say anything about Nnamdi Kanu. When he said we shouldn't participate in the election, he made a valid point, because what we did there was to validate the slavery. If everybody had, if everybody had agreed and said, no, we want referendum, push for referendum instead, right? It would have been a different story. But we went to participate in a process that we know was going to be fraudulent. So for how long are we going to continue? Please, Simon Ekpa is not the problem. His demands are clear. Release our leader and also give us referendum. Simple.
Yeah, simple. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Thanks for calling in as well. So let's have another caller. We still have a bit of a time on our side, and you can call in too. Do you get that? And keep it clean. Okay. I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
Good evening, Mr. Mayadun.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. This is Don Gada online.
Don Gada again. How you doing, Baba?
I'm very well. How is your family?
Well, we are here. We thank God. Thanks for asking. Please.
That's nice. First of all, I want to appreciate you for your program earlier today.
Thanks.
Even though that I am Igbo, it is so much important to educate people on how and where their lineage, their generation comes from, their ancestors, their tradition. One thing we fail to understand as human is that the culture which we refer as tradition is also a religion.
It is.
This is the religion we have been practicing before the Westerners came in to colonize us. But in the process of doing that, in the process of trying to educate them, I want you to know one thing also.
Please.
It will be very, very difficult for you to educate people on that because people have grown on ignorant. People have grown believing that Islam and Christian, mostly in Nigeria and Africa at large.
Where have you?
Yeah. Thank you. Now, another reason why it will be a waste of time is that wherever religion is dominant, politicians use them as a tool to achieve whatever goals they have or they are pursuing. That is why you see politicians, whenever there is election, they start going to mosque, going to churches. And if you go through the history of Sure. If you go through the history of religion, you will find out that Catholic, which was mostly the origin of Christianity, was a political organization. They used to rule Rome, Italy, Germany, and all that before they turned it into religion permanently. Secondly, let me come to the issue of hand. And before I leave that issue, I'm pleading with you, if you could be bringing out, even though it is 1 hour in a day, in a week, to teach your people about that. It is very, very important. It is going to liberate, if not many of them, but at least few of them. And with that, journey of liberating people is the most difficult journey. That is why people are
thankless one too.
Thank you. That is why people are surprised with the achievement of Nnamdi Kanu, with the way he managed to achieve and win the people's hearts within the space of 2, 3, 4 years. And he could be able to do so much with the truth. You understand? So let me come to the issue at hand now. I told you one certain time, maybe it was the second time I called you,
yes,
that the issue, Simon Ekpa has been compromised. During the time of Jesus, according to their Bible, who sold Jesus? It was Judas. Who betrayed him? It was Peter. These two people were his closest disciples, and I know it is on record. It will be on, my call is going to be on record. I want you to mark today's date. You will go back today whenever, if Nnamdi Kanu will be released, you will see in record, he doesn't talk much. He talks with fact. Simon Ekpa is amongst the people that betrayed him. The government was able to...
Don't gather. What I'm trying to kind of do is not for us to, point our fingers convincingly when we are trying to kind of encourage ourselves to say, you know what, can we cut down this, this madness. But
yeah,
even though I don't really wish to interrupt you to present, but I just don't think we should keep hammering on this blame game and all that. But please,
I understand you where you are coming from. Like I said
choose to
earlier,
be diplomatic about it myself, because my message is just to see how people can reason. All right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I can't tell you how to do it, but I wish you can be. You know what I mean? But
you're
please,
right.
go on.
I'm not directly accusing him. I said we should keep today's date and wait till when, if the Kanu will be released, you will hear the truth that he is among. I'm not saying that he's among. It will come directly from the mouth of the
man himself.
Okay. Yeah, Nnamdi Kanu. And I think and I believe, if you remember what I told you the last time I called about Asare Dokubo, how he was brought.
I remember that one.
Everything is being reviewed now. I want to tell you something. Before this issue of killing this and that in Igbo state, in Igbo land, have you ever imagined the number of guns that is circulating in that land? Have you ever asked how manage those guns, AK-47, AK-49, those guns are able to penetrate that city? Because we don't used to have those guns in that city. We don't have borders to import guns. If we are able to access guns, it must either come from the north or the southwest.
Or southwest, yeah, that's true.
Do you get my point? So I told you last time that those mercenaries who are doing this fight in the southeast were recruited separately from the Asare Dokubo them and people the government has been compromised with. And why I mentioned Simon in particular, which made me to believe that he was among those who betrayed Nnamdi Kanu, is this. Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything. He never armed anybody to kill in Igbo land, to cause any mayhem in Igbo land. But he was so much at the mouth of every political leader in Nigeria, including the lowest person as low as local government chairman and councillors in Nigeria, to get him and know what.
Even northern Nigeria, where you won't believe that his name is mentioned, there is known, and his name is all over their mouth. You're right. And he never shot a gun to achieve that.
Now he has been apprehended and detained. Now the crisis has escalated, and the person who is directly, physically, approachly doing everything live, that every evidence is there that he's directing people to kill others in Igbo land is there. Nobody, not even a local government chairman, has ever mentioned of extraditing Simon Ekpa. Not even anybody from even our own political leaders in Igbo land has ever mentioned of how to arrest Simon Ekpa or bringing him to book. You see why I just pointed that accusing finger at him. If you mentioned so many times,
maybe we are all looking in the wrong side. It could just be a guy that is speaking and then taking the moment to do what he's doing when he's actually not with any substance per se. Could it be that?
Well,
could it also be that? Like, he didn't do it.
Well, whatever his wishes are.
Don't gather. Let's you and I, like you said from the beginning, right? Let us wait for the time that Nnamdi Kanu will be out. Personally, I kind of aligning with you in this sense is that I believe that if when Nnamdi Kanu is released, or whenever he is released, right, we will see those who said they are doing this because of him. All right. If they will then have to queue behind him when he says stop. So whoever doesn't stop at that time, then we can easily tell, where they actually belong. I want him out. And I hope that those who are doing this understand the damages they are doing towards this, letting him out or not. They are not helping.
Now I want to touch on issue of you wanting Nnamdi Kanu out. I have always watched you said you want him out. You wish Buhari Tinubu would not inherit Buhari's problem by.
I'm not even begging him to release him. I'm saying they should follow their own courts, follow their own law, and let him go. Yeah.
Now I want to tell you this. Do you think Northerners would like Nnamdi Kanu to be out? There has been a fight. There has been killings. There has been mayhems going on in the northern Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria for the past it has started since the creation of Nigeria, but it became obvious after 2009 when Boko Haram emerges. The killing, the kidnapping, everything that was going on there. They think that the Southeasterners were happy over that. Now, the same thing is Southeast. There is no way they are going to want it to end. They want to see it escalate. Do you understand my point now?
I do,
they want
but Tinubu could stop all of that and put an end to it. Tinubu also needs the goodwill of the people, remember? And he will do anything to win that.
That is sure.
Right?
What you will ask is, what was his agreement? You mentioned in your program earlier today that they want to establish Sharia court in Lagos. Let me add, go back to your YouTube. You will also see where I told you one certain time when I called that these people, when they want to achieve something, they use the persons from that region, from South, to establish their whatever they want to achieve. Then when their own government will come in, they will make it official so that whenever the case come up, they will be like, we didn't start it. Your people. I've made this to you one certain time in a call, but if you go back to your YouTube, you understand? So Tinubu, what was their agreement? What was the written agreement? Because no matter how you try to see it, there was a written agreement between him and the Northerners. And he's going to keep to that. You understand? And let me tell you this. Again. Fulanis, there has never been in the history of Nigeria that we have Fulanis as an indigenous of Nigeria. Before and after creation of Nigeria, Fulanis came outside.
Until 1807 or so, there's nothing called Fulani in any part of Nigeria, even though Nigeria doesn't exist until, well, you know what I mean, but even all this history until 1807 or 1847 or thereabout, that's the first time they ventured, and then they invaded, and then they stayed back, and they became part of this history.
Do you know that as we speak right now, there are still large immigration of Fulanis from other African countries into Nigeria. Do you know that?
So I do.
So how do you think that their journey to dominate, to be able to acquire land? Nigeria has so much wealth, and they have. You can come from Niger, what do they call it, Algeria, and become a governor in Nigeria tomorrow. Nobody will question you. Nobody will ask you.
It is easier for somebody from Niger Republic to be president of Nigeria for me to become a local government chairman, even though I'm from Ijebu.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. And for them having that opportunity for a country as wealthy as Nigeria is, they are not going to give it up early. No. But the last thing I want to say here is this. Nigeria has been radicalized to the extent that going back to fix things is not going to happen again. It can never happen. It either lead to war, coup d'etat, or separation. And these three things must come to pass. Nigeria has been radicalized. Check Southwest, check Southeast, check the North.
Almost the same.
There's no peace. But the last thing I want to say is this.
Okay.
I'll
make it last. Go on.
Yeah, this is the last thing. Those ignorant leaders, our governors from the Southeast, our senators, our councillors, maybe one of them or two of them will listen to this program and spread the news. They should know this and know it today. There is a saying in my place that says that wherever you lay your mat is where you are going to face to sleep. Do you understand that phrase? Why I say this is this. They have empowered so many Igbo youths with guns, and Igbos are not the people you empower with guns and turn back because they don't stop whatever they start until they finish it. There will be the governor of Enugu State that is establishing security in Enugu.
They are giving all these young people guns, so they are calling them people who are going to help them stop a sit at home and all of them. Like, you are not helping. This is not how to go about it. But again,
thank you.
No,
I haven't. I will complete now. I'm still on the point. Have didn't he question about those who has been those securities established in the South Imo State and Anambra State? What was the achievement? There will be a time whereby they will not be able to, after ruling, they will not be able to stay in that city, Enugu, Anambra, and Imo State. And they should know this. This is the most important one. Igbos are everywhere. When it gets to that point, when anything happens to Nnamdi Kanu, their children will be haunted. Their family will be haunted. Whether they take them to US, to Canada, everywhere, there will be no peace for any of us. That is my contribution to
bless you, Don Gada. I wish we ended it on a more friendlier note, but if I say this note, I mean this spot where you ended it is another one that people will be like,
I'm angry.
Don Gada, you should have a good night. Okay, thanks so much for being part of this again. All right, stay safe, Baba. Now this is where I'm going to draw the curtains, everyone. I know a lot of you are currently dialing the number. Oh my God, I'm going to call in. I need to say something. Listen, one thing about Mayegun's diary political is this. If you're unable to say anything by calling in today, as much as this is hotting up right now, yeah, trust me, you can always still speak on this same topic, even when we are not even talking about it anymore. You have the chance of expressing yourself. That's what we do. And thank you, all of you, every one of us, for tonight. I'm going to see you again. So until then, remember, you can still like this broadcast, share it, and I'll see you again. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary politico. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.